It's that time of year, and Halloween candy seems to be everywhere. Now, certainly not the healthiest of all of our holidays. There are some healthier alternatives. So let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Dr. David. How you doing? As a pediatrician who cares about health and teeth and blood sugar and all that type of thing, this is the time of year, not just Halloween, but obviously for the next few months, where there's all kinds of goodies and snacks and sweets aplenty. And of course, while in moderation may be okay, it's certainly kind of easy to go off the rails. Now, today we're going to be talking about Halloween in particular, okay? And, I have very vivid memories throughout elementary and middle school of especially my daughter when she'd go out trick-or-treating with her friends, and I'd go over to the house where they were, and they'd come back from their trick-or-treating, and then they would all empty their Halloween bags, and not just bags, they seem to be like huge pillowcases, etc., onto the one floor, and these mounds of candy would just come out. And if they spread it out, there was nowhere to even walk. There was that much candy, and there's no way on earth that a group of 6 kids like this could have eaten all that candy. I wonder how they got all that candy in the first place. But it was certainly something that was probably etched in my brain forever when I saw how much candy these kids had gotten. Now, there are people who do other things. Now, for instance, the orthodontist that my kids have seen, Dr. Greg Dyer here in Tampa, he will do a candy trade-in, kind of like a buyback, and he actually rents out a movie theater during the holidays, and will show a kid-friendly movie in the theaters, but you have to turn your candy in. It's like a trade. You got to trade your candy in, and that's what happens there. So, different ways of handling it. Now, I know that I've also seen families who like, well, you can have one piece of candy today, and you just have one piece of candy for, the next day and the next day and the next day. And actually, I've seen it, and also with some dentists talk about that, it may be better just to let your kid go crazy for the one night. Eat even to the point where it makes them sick and doesn't want to have any candy for a while. But if you're going to be spiking your sugar and especially exposing your teeth to all of that sugar, probably better to do it all in once or a couple nights as opposed to spreading it out for the next 2 months. So that's also some kind of little tip advice that may find that to be better, but at least for the teeth, it is better that way. Okay. Now, of course, it's not just the sugar itself, but of course, there are other things that we have to be somewhat concerned about with our candy, such as, all the high fructose corn syrup that could be in them. You're probably not seeing any natural cane sugar, but but the high added sugar, of course, that's kind of insane. And also the food colorings. We're here now that, it's red dyes that we've been warning about. California has actually just made red dye number 3 illegal due to some carcinogen cancer issues as well. So, it's not the healthiest thing we could be putting into our bodies, and sure, for our kids as well. Okay. Now, there are candies that are out there that do have natural dyes if you go looking for them. And so that is one option if you want to avoid the artificial dyes that you can be able to be doing. But of course, part of the issue is it's not just what we give our kids, but what our kids, because we want our kids to go out and have fun, be with all their friends, but then the stuff they're bringing back. So maybe we could even do a trade-in of our own where they give us the unhealthiest versions of the candy. Maybe we can give them some healthier versions as well. Okay. So what are some of the healthier options that we could do? Okay, well, one thing is instead of going out trick-or-treating, or maybe just trick-or-treating like real local on your block, have a Halloween party, arrange that with their friends where you have more control as to what they are eating, as well as just keeping an eye on them as they're running like some do savages through the neighborhood as well. But you could have all types of karaoke and sing-alongs, and maybe watch a little, Nightmare Before Christmas, or other kind of Halloween type of movie that you can set up a movie night and just kind of have a good fun time with it all. Make popcorn or other healthier while you're watching the movies. Okay. But again, one of the things you can also do, even when you're purchasing candy to be giving out, if you want to be conscious about the other kids in the neighborhood, look at the back of the packages for the individual pieces, how much added sugar is in there, how much fiber is in there. You'll see quite a bit of a difference. And in fact, one of them, which I recently looked up, was just like even M&Ms. No, I'm not going to convince you that this is a healthy food, it's not. But even if you look, because foods that have nuts in them, will have less chocolate and or less sugar. So, for instance, M&M compared to just milk chocolate M&M, I'm sorry, peanut M&Ms compared to milk chocolate M&Ms. Well, the peanuts do have less sugar, less added sugar, and more fiber. So there is a little bit of a healthy alternative. Of course, if you're going to be giving out something that has nuts in it, make sure there's a sign about it, making sure the kid knows about it. Of course, any but your party, so that might not be it. But also another option is dark chocolate. Dark chocolate has again less sugar, more fiber. So even handing out little special dark chocolates as opposed to Hershey's milk chocolates, that could make a difference as well. Okay. Also, there are other small handouts, like I know Ghirardelli has the small squares that can be given out, etc. And again, you can get those with the more darker chocolate, the lower sugar content, higher cacao. That's always healthier. And I'm reminded that dark chocolate can be a health food if you're eating it with enough cacao and less sugar in it. Okay. Now, other options that you can do in terms of handing things out that may be a little bit more nutritious, things like mini granola bars. They certainly exist. You could be giving out maybe some kind of more salty, crunchy kind of snacks, like little bags of the mini sizes of the pretzels, or Puffs, Pirate Booty, popcorn, Smart Food. There are little packages like that can be both that your kid can consume, but also giving out if you want to be more conscious about what everybody is being exposed to. Okay. Also, beside that, you could even find goldfish crackers and other type of little Cheez-Its. Again, not the healthiest thing in the world, but certainly better than a ton of candy. Okay. Now, also, there are even packets of things such as like organic gummies, okay, that don't have the high fructose corn syrup, that have natural food colors as opposed to artificial food colorings. There are organic lollipops out there. Again, certainly lots of sugar, but it will probably like organic sugar as opposed to high fructose corn syrup. Again, not having the artificial colorings in there, and they're individual pieces, so they're easy to get at. You can get a bag of 250, 300 lollipops to be giving out. Probably takes care of the whole neighborhood for you. So that's an option too. Okay. Also, things with that, like that, or even like Jolly Ranchers or other kind of suckers. Anything that has to be sucked as opposed to chewed. Something that is sucked usually will last longer. And so, if someone's eating a sucker every 5 or 10 minutes as opposed to wolfing down a candy bar every 30 seconds, they're not going to be consuming as much as well over that time period before they probably get sick of what they're eating. All right. And also they have little honey sticks and other things as well that people can hand out that are, again, contain individual containers, types of things that could work for there. Okay. Now, other options could be things like they have like natural, like, more natural, like fruit leather, fruit roll-ups types of things that they come in individual packets as well. Coming back to the suckers, the little lollipops, again, it's still a lot of sugar, but they'll be working that thing for a while as well. Okay. Now, another alternative, handing out non-food items, things like little bouncy balls, little small figurines, like a little army set or some little Disney set or something like that. Bubbles, they have the little like 1 ounce bubbles that people can do, and you can even have a little bubble machine at your house so people know that you're giving out bubbles or something like that. That's something that can work. And also, not just the candy rings I was thinking about, but we've all seen the little rings that have a little skeleton on it, or a bat on it, or a pumpkin on it, or something like that, jack-o'-lantern, that we could be giving that are not food items as well. Okay. And I guess you could always throw a quarter in there as well for somebody who could have a bag of coins. So anyways, overall, there are options that are out there. Of course, we want kids to be able to enjoy our holidays, but we can at least feel good about what we're doing to our kids and others at the same time. Have a nice day.